All right, you guys will notice I'm not live in studio, which I'm never live in studio with Santia and Josh, but I'm not at the show live at all. I'm at this time probably in Topeka, maybe having a couple drinks, maybe eating some food, not sure, but I won't be available for the show tonight. Behind the scenes, I don't have to tell you this because this one's not even going that smooth, but this is take 2 already. This is weird. I talked about it in the first one, but doing this alone is unique because I'm used to doing this segment with the 5 songs and talking about, the topics with the cast. I'm doing it alone. I've done shows alone, but I tend to ramble on kind of like I'm doing. So this is either going to go for 35 minutes and Josh is going to have to figure out how to cut it, or I'll get to it pretty quick. I kept messing this topic up. I think we're calling it Makes You Feel Like Spring. If I butchered it, Josh, just edit that out and put what we're calling it. I said, sounds like spring is what I kept calling it. And they said, no, it's not that. But this topic, I don't know if I found a ton of songs that talk about spring and necessarily, but when I think of spring, it makes me think of kind of coming out of winter, coming out of the darkness. So all these songs are kind of upbeat, happy, which I think most springs, birds chirping and stuff going on. It's kind of a good time of year. You've been locked up. If you're like me, you work from 7 in the morning or sometimes earlier till 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. And in the Midwest, it's dark when you get to work and when you leave work. Essentially in the winter, you see light during the day when you go out at work, but if you're stuck in the building most of the time, you don't see a lot of light of day. So spring, I'm usually more upbeat. Like I told my wife the other day, I was out working on something, cleaning a shed out for her. She's wanting a shed to be able to use and to do stuff in and have her stuff for outside in. I've got one that my yard stuff and my mower and stuff's in. So I was cleaning that out and was doing some other stuff and fixed a trailer and did something. And I said, I just feel more capable when the weather's nicer. Like in winter, I don't even know how to change oil. Do I know how to jumpstart a battery? Do I know how to, you get me some good weather and all of a sudden I can turn a tree branch into a tire. So here we go on with the rambling again. I'm just going to get to my list and, without having somebody to play off of, I think this part will go pretty quick. My number 5, this one's a new one to me. It's from Fitz and the Tantrums. I found it on the only playlist. It was curated from Spotify for me, and it was, Feels Like Spring. And there was some good songs on there. A bunch of songs already listened to. I wouldn't really consider spring songs, but I think they looked at it like me, upbeat songs about being outside or coming out of a dark place. And this particular song is I Just Want to Shine from Fitz and the Tantrums.
I love that song.
And it's a super good song. It'll be on the playlist. Number 4, I think we've used this on one show before. It might even been me. I don't know. But again, all of my songs, happy and a lot of sunshine. And this one is from Katrina and the Waves, Walking on Sunshine, my number 4. My number 3, Tom Petty, Wildflowers. Yeah, there's probably 1 or 2 other Tom Petty songs I could use, but anytime I can get Tom Petty into one, I'm going to get him into it. This to me is probably not one of my favorite Tom Petty songs, but I did listen to it 2 or 3 times throughout this, maybe kind of struggling to find songs that made me really thank spring. But that one definitely kept sticking to me as I listened to it more, and some of the meanings, it stuck with me more. This one, my number 2, and this has kind of been the speed round, but it happens. My number 2, I was listening to this one just before I came out, and it was already kind of an honorable mention or maybe going to be on the list. I was thinking about it, But my wife goes, "Oh, somebody else remade that song." And I said, "Who did it?" I knew I'd heard it every time I kept hearing it. And she goes, "Bublé, Michael Bublé." And it was "Feeling Good," the original by Nina Simone. And I said, "No, this is the original." And then I listened to his, and it's a good song. I forgot. Yeah, I do remember it now, but it's not as good as the original by Nina. And I think when I listened to the person that was talking about the song, her song's take on it was a sultry, sassy, soulful version of the song that many people have tried to remake, but can't beat the classic, which is another topic that is on my list. Can't beat the classic, or did it beat the classic? And my number one, I had a couple from them I could have used, and I won't even do my honorable mentions, which I think I'll be last, so I probably could. I don't know if I stole anybody or if anybody stole mine, and the buzzer will have to get hit. But this is the Beatles, and my number one is "Here Comes the Sun." And I think if we go back on my list, all but one song talks about, well, two songs talk about sun, sunshine, flowers. So, I mean, I got some spring stuff, but it was more for me. It's almost like coming out of a depression. Like winter to me is depressing. Not there's some good things that happen indoors, but you get lazy, you get fat, it's not a happy time. The nice days, it's great. You go outside and you take as much advantage as you can. So this was unique doing this way. I am glad that I can be a little part of the show tonight. So I'm going to stop it so it's not too long. Thank you, guys. Thanks for letting me do this. Hopefully the show probably is better without me, I'll be honest. Way less interruptions. But hopefully you guys had a good show. Peace.